3, 2, 1, 0, and liftoff. Liftoff. Americans return to space as Discovery clears the tower.
TTMTrades, what's up, people? Tonight we're gonna be talking about ticker AMRS. Before we get to it, I just want to say I appreciate all my new followers. If I'm adding value to your trades and helping you make money, or if you're learning something, hey, I appreciate it, and it does me joy to know that I'm helping everyone out who's following. Also, check out my YouTube channel. Yes, you, the person watching this video, go subscribe right now. Let me add value to your trades and let's make money together. All right, so moving on to the chart, AMRS. All right, this week and also coming out of last week, this has been on a downtrend. One of my biggest concerns is the 50-period moving average. We broke through the 20-period, then we broke through the 50-period, but when we broke through the 50-period moving average, we formed a nice doji, and there was a nice accumulation. So could this possibly be the bottom? Yes, this possibly could. What we need to see moving into Friday is it closed back above the 50-period moving average, which is currently at $3.30. We closed right at $3.27. Now, is this downtrend something to be worried about? It is not. Okay, what you have to understand is you have to be able to look at your charts on different time scales. So this daily right here, as far as the downtrend, correlates to the weekly chart as a pullback. So this isn't anything to panic. Okay, if you look each day as it dropped, it was on below average volume. Okay, and the volume decreased or stayed the same with each drop. Okay, now if you've seen a steady drop with the volume increasing each drop, then that means more people are panicking, more people are selling, and this wave look like it will continue. What this downtrend looks like, it will continue. But this downtrend, since it's been on below average volume, it correlates to the weekly chart as a pullback. So let's zoom out to the weekly and see what we have going on. Okay, so looking at the weekly, all right, as you can see, everybody knows I keep a weighted, on my RSI, I keep a simple 10-period moving average and a weighted 10-period moving average. Okay, the RSI is great for being able to find when the momentum shifts out of the hands of the bears to the bulls, and or the bulls to the bears. What do I mean by that? RSI, blue line, yellow line 10-period, green line 30-period moving average. So as you can see on this downtrend, as we stay below that 10-period moving average, this shows that the bears had full control, and you can see the stock declined pretty bad. All right, as we broke above the 10-period moving average and held above it. When you break above that 10-period moving average, that shows that the bulls are trying to come back in and take control, and they are accumulating shares. Once we break above that 30-period moving average, this shows that the bulls have full control, and the bears and those shorts can no longer push this stock down, and then you follow that trend. So when you see that momentum shift, as we can see here, shifting to an uptrend, that lets you know to ride that wave. And actually, I wrote this wave back in 2016. I got in right around $5, and I wrote this up and made a 200% return. So now fast forward, what do we have here? All right, we have a lower low, higher low because it didn't break this high, a higher low, and then right about the same as far as a higher high. Now what we want to see is a higher low again. This pullback that you saw on the daily correlates on the weekly to the 20-period moving average. The 20-period moving average, as you can see, is right at 319. As far as this week, we dipped down to 311 and we closed right at 327. So we're holding above the 20-period moving average on the weekly time scale. That also correlates with our RSI, as I was just talking about. As you can see, back in August, we broke above that 10-period moving average where we had a lower low. We broke through, came up, had a higher high, okay, because we broke this resistance right here in the RSI, had a higher high, came back down, found support on this 10-period moving average, made a higher low, again, came back up, made a higher high, and what we are doing here is we're making a higher low. Now what we want to see is that we found support on this 10-period moving average. As you can see, we're matching up right now, And then next week, what we want to see is stronger accumulation and or breakout to begin making another higher high, okay, and see the trend continue upwards. Now, once this trend continue upwards, areas of resistance you want to look at is your 50-period moving average, which right now is at $5.36. That correlates all the way back to the support back in August of 2016. This support area. So as the price begins to break back up into an uptrend, we have to break through this original support area, which is now resistance. And then once we break through this area, which I don't see too many issues, my main concern is breaking through this support area, which will be our next resistance, right in the low $7 range, because a lot of traders who bought in this area are now trapped in this area due to this gap down, and that's never coming back up to fill this gap. And it's going to happen. We're going to fill the gap. But what you have here is an oversupply of this stock. So all the traders who are trapped right here, they are waiting for this stock to push back up, and so that way they can offload their shares and either break even and get the hell out of Dodge, and or take a smaller loss than what they were at when the stock was at $2.67 and $1.86. Believe me, there are some people who are stuck right here. So we have a large oversupply right here. So as far as profit targets, I would set my profit targets at those resistance areas, $5.36, because you're going to have a pullback due to the oversupply, and then also in the low $7 range, because there's another oversupply / resistance area that's going to cause another pullback. Do I think it's safe to make entry? I do, but what I would wait for is to make sure that we close above that 20-period moving average at 319 tomorrow, Friday, before we close out the week. And then I will watch on Monday and Tuesday to make sure that the accumulation is holding at those price levels. And then if they are, then I would sit back and wait for a breakout. So nothing to panic about on the daily. If you haven't got in, now's a good time to get in. I would aim for the low threes. As far as where the hammer stopped at, the $3.10 range and this 327 range. This is where I would aim to take my entry, and then I would hold and wait to make sure that we continue to move sideways to show some accumulation, and then possibly have a breakout on Wednesday and Thursday. TTM Trades, if you learned something today, and or if I added value to your trades, please follow me, subscribe to my YouTube. It's been a joy. I'll talk to you guys later.
Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.